But first, an NBC Charlotte Defenders exclusive, a tragic story spotlighting potential gaps in our criminal justice system.
Tonight, our Defenders team uncovering the case of a convicted murderer now accused of killing again. Police say an innocent man, 47-year-old John Songer, was hit by a stray bullet outside a local bar.
The suspect, Jamie Harris, previously spent 10 years in prison for a different murder. After his parole ended, Harris was arrested multiple times in just a few months, but jail records show Harris was let out of bond time and time again.
During one of those times, he's accused of knocking an 80-year-old woman to the ground, leaving her bruised from head to toe.
NBC Charlotte Defender Alex Shabbat is digging into this disturbing case. Alex, Songer's friends left with a lot of unanswered questions.
That's right, Fred, and friends of John Songer say he loved to support the local music scene. That's what he was doing here the night he was shot and killed. And after learning more about the suspect, they say the system failed him. This band's music, likely one of the last sounds John Songer ever heard.
And he just was always bringing a good vibe.
But there was no apparent rhyme or reason for his sudden death. Anthony Smith learned his longtime friend was killed by a stray bullet.
It's a sad, sad thing.
After he stepped out of Smokey Joe's bar that night.
We had history together, and it was all good history.
The suspected gunman also had a history, and not a good history. Jamie Harris spent 10 years in prison for second-degree murder, and state records show his parole ended just 5 months before this.
You can tell what my eye looks like, a nightmare.
Police say he targeted Elizabeth Malcolm. The 80-year-old woman told us she was dragged to the ground when he grabbed her purse.
I would like for him to be stopped because I don't think this was his first rodeo.
Harris was stopped, but not for long, according to jail records. After his arrest in September, he was released on a $5,000 bond just 1 day later, only to be arrested again the next month for robbery and financial card theft. And once again, out on bond the very next day. It was yet another chance for Harris, but 2 months later, John Songer didn't stand a chance.
The magistrates are a big part of the problem in Mecklenburg County.
Marcus Philman is executive director of Charmac Court Watch, which tracks repeat offenders in the court system. He says Harris's case is a symptom of a bigger problem of violent offenders granted low bonds.
That as long as they make ridiculous decisions like this at the magistrate's office, Mecklenburg County citizens are in danger.
We reached out to 2 of the magistrates who set Harris's bond, but a court spokesperson told us they are not able to comment on pending cases.
But the system really failed him. With all that history, he shouldn't have been out here and able to kill my friend.
We've got to do better.
Mecklenburg County's district attorney now calling for a statewide change to the justice system. In a statement, Spencer Merriweather wrote, "State law remains insufficient as long as it continues to allow the possibility for our most dangerous and violent repeat offenders to buy their way out of pretrial custody. Under current North Carolina law, defendants generally have the right to a bond, except for a first-degree murder charge. The DA's office says new legislation could expand that to other crimes if the suspect is deemed to be a significant safety risk to the community."
He'd still be out doing his thing.
For John's friends and family, it all strikes a painful note. But they remember the man.
Nobody ever had a bad word to say about him.
The local music scene he loved. And the life he lived.
On the anniversary of his death, that it will be celebrated. There will be bands, there will be people, celebrating his life.
And jail records show Jamie Harris has been in custody since December. We checked today, he remains being held without bond. But that's no help to everyone who cared about John Songer, of course. For now, I'm live in Charlotte. Alex Shabbat, NBC Charlotte.
Alex, thank you.